Now that I'm used to the climate, I think that if man ever found a place to live easy and happy, that Eden is on Puget Sound. Eden is on Puget Sound. That Eden is on Puget Sound. A place to live easy and happy. That Eden is on Puget Sound.
Hello and welcome to the Seattle Files. My name is Chris Allen. I'm your host. Every week I get together with a different local comedian and together we discuss the strange, unusual, interesting, and oftentimes lesser known aspects of our local history. Joining me today is Mike Murphy. How's it going, Mike?
I'm good. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being here.
No problem, man.
Mike is an ensemble member in Jet City Improv. You can see him performing there regularly. He is the title character in the holiday show Uncle Mike Ruins Christmas, which goes up every late November and December at 10:30 at Jet City Improv, where essentially your holiday memories are ruined. It's a wonderful, wonderful show. January and February, you can see him performing in the show Every Movie is a Musical. You might also recognize Mike as the face of Crazy Larry, the face of the University of Washington Huskies for a while. He was on a bunch of billboards around town. If you saw a guy with a big red beard, that was Mike Murphy. Anything I'm missing here?
No, that's pretty much it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mike, how long have you lived in the Seattle area?
I was born in Seattle. I grew up in Everett till about 18. Mm-hmm. And then I went to school up in Bellingham.
Mm-hmm. Western?
Yep.
Cool.
And I moved back down to Everett, and then I lived in Seattle until now.
Cool.
Now I live in Edmonds.
So you've lived in Washington your whole life.
I
Washington.
punched a lot of towns on my city card.
Oh, okay.
On the state of Washington.
Excellent. Excellent. How much do you know about local history?
I was forced to take a class in 9th grade about Washington state history. So I know Pig War. Mm-hmm. I know we've covered that on this show. Mm-hmm. And that's basically it.
That's basically it.
Yeah. I believe there's a dam on one side of the state that Woody Guthrie liked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have is New York in Washington?
New York is not in Washington.
Well, then I don't fucking know.
All right, fair enough. I also remember taking that class in 9th grade on Pacific Northwest history, and I don't remember any of it. I don't remember one single thing that they taught in that class.
We read Sherman Alexie,
mm-hmm.
and that was the one class that I just absolutely nailed. And I retired from 9th grade.
You said, all right, I'm ending on a high note. I'm leaving 9th grade.
My teacher was like, wow, that was really inspired. And I was like, I'm out of here. I Costanza'd out of there.
Yeah, and on a high note?
Yeah, I think I got a B in that class.
Hey. And you have no idea what we're going to be talking about today, correct?
No idea.
Excellent. So let's get started.
All right.
Michael George Nelson was born November 18th, 1938 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. His mother worked for Boeing during World War II, and his father fought overseas.
Good Everett building. Huge building.
Oh, the Boeing building?
Good Everett building.
The mile by mile, 1 square mile Boeing manufacturing plant?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They built it with the curvature of the earth in mind, or mm-hmm. something like that.
Yeah. According to his own account, he received a BA from the University of Maryland, a BA from Stockholm University in Sweden, a master's in science from the University of Minnesota, where he minored in economics, and a Juris doctorate from the University of Washington.
Are you calling him a liar?
No, this is
according to his account.
According to his account, yes.
Where's the birth certificate? Where's the birth certificate?
Well, this is all self-reported from him.
I'm going to start self-reporting my...
You probably should, yeah.
I went to Hogwarts.
Okay, that might be a little harder to believe. But
at Disney World.
What house were you in?
Let me ask, okay, what house...
You're just dodging what house you think
What house do you think I'd be in?
Hufflepuff.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Nobody wants to be in Hufflepuff.
Dude, you know I'm straight up Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I know. In the 1980s, Michael Nelson decided to take a foray into politics. He ran for low-level offices in Seattle a few times and didn't win. He raised no money for his campaigns and reported no money to the Federal Elections Commission. He described himself as thrifty and wrote, quote, "Voters usually elect big spenders," and added that he, quote, "may be a counterbalance."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a thrifty dude.
Yeah.
I like it. Is he a bum?
No, not a bum. From his blog, quote,
I'm the first bum candidate.
he's really securing that bum vote, yeah.
I'm pro beans.
From his blog, quote, "I have become prosperous because I am a small spender. The big spenders, whom you usually elect, tend to build powerful campaign organizations. Then they steamroll the small spenders, small spenders like myself, and then you elect the big spenders, and then you suffer under the tax burden that the big spenders put on your shoulders."
Guys, speaking my language.
Yeah, you like this guy so far?
Yeah, I'm liking him.
All right. Filing for a candidacy in Washington State costs 1% of the office's fixed annual salary. So if the job pays $100,000 a year, the filing fee to run for that office is $1,000. It's 1% of the salary. This appears to be the only money he spends on his campaigns.
1%?
1% of what the pay for the office would be if you get the job.
Okay.
You can also, if you're able to get the same dollar amount in terms of numbers of signatures on a petition, then you can waive the fee. So if it's $100,000, you get 1,000 signatures on the petition, then you don't have to spend the fee. So it's possible that he does that, and he doesn't even pay anything.
And he just makes up a whole bunch of people. Sam Snead!
Sam Snead loves him, yeah.
Sam Snead Jr.
Mm-hmm. I've gone through the Federal Elections Commission records, and he has never reported any campaign contributions, any disbursements, any cash on hand, or any debts.
Really?
Yeah. He's zeros in every column for every campaign he's run across the board. But no debts. He's thrifty.
Really? He's thrifty.
Yeah. In the early 2000s, his political ambitions returned, and in 2002, he ran for King County Council, received 7.3% of the votes. In 2003, he ran for King County Council again and received 15.7% of the votes. So
really?
pretty much doubled it. Yeah, more than doubled it. So he's gaining momentum.
Does he have the mob connect where that 15% is like Pet Cemetery?
Like the episode of The Simpsons where
Snowball 2, no!
2004, Michael Nelson ran for governor of the state of Washington as a libertarian. He was defeated in the primaries by Ruth Bennett, who went on to lose to Christine Gregoire. He received 37% of the libertarian vote in the primary.
He's a libertarian?
Well,
I don't mean to say that like a slur.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to LaRouchers on the corner in Bellingham.
I don't know how indicative, though. Those guys are more just insane, I think. I don't know. I mean, I don't consider myself a libertarian, but I don't think LaRouche and people that have, like, the Hitler or Obama with the Hitler mustache stuff, I don't think those people are necessarily indicative of all libertarians.
But LaRouche is a libertarian. He ran as a libertarian, correct?
I believe so, yeah, but he's also... I don't know if you can take like the craziest person in a party and say that they're indicative of the entire group of people.
You can't? It makes things much easier.
Wrong. It does make things much easier. Michael Nelson changed his parties several times over the course of his career. In 2005, he ran for King County Executive. He received 9.1% of the vote. So he's always just around that 10 to 15%. In 2006, at the age of 68, Michael Nelson decided to make a change, and he legally changed his name to Goodspaceguy.
Goodspaceguy! This is that dude that all those assholes voted for.
Yeah, this is Goodspaceguy.
Oh, your name's Goodspaceguy!
Yeah.
You make a good guy on what did he run for?
Port Commissioner.
We'll
get to that, yeah. But Goodspaceguy, one word, no spaces, Goodspaceguy.
It made me think of Dr. Spaceman
from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
If you voted in Washington State in the last 10 years, odds are good you have seen the name Goodspaceguy. Okay. Quote, "I don't use my birth name any longer. I've gone to court and I've added Goodspaceguy to my name. So I'm running as a candidate under Goodspaceguy because Goodspaceguy explains my advocacy for a better U.S. space program."
When I went through my chrysalis stage, I had to choose a new name. And Goodspaceguy is what I had in my fever dream.
With the name Goodspaceguy, he ran for U.S. Senator from Washington and received 0.8% of the vote.
And what does that equate to?
Less than 1%.
0.8 is less than 1%.
0.8% of the vote.
But how many votes on?
I don't know what the exact numbers were for that one, but not many. Okay. Not many people. Now's a good time to talk about some of his campaign platforms.
All right.
Again from his blog, quote, "We should already have more than 200 private space habitats in orbit." Connected together in different configurations and in different orbits. You have already paid the money required for space colonization, but you have not gotten the space colonies. Many of your chosen leaders have not studied space colonization, so they have misspent your money, not understanding the fantastic future we can build.
And what was it? Was he going to turn the port into a space port?
Well, this is when he's running for senator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's running for senator at this point.
You know what? I'm going to agree with him on that.
Yeah, it's not a bad. I'm for space exploration. I'm for NASA.
We should be playing basketball on Jupiter.
That'd be hard because the gravity's heavier.
We should be fixing the gravity on Jupiter for basketball.
Why don't we fix our Earth problems before we start fixing Jupiter problems? That's what I say. He continues on, "Gradually, the other nations of our spaceship Earth will be doing more and more in space. India and China have already sent research spacecraft to orbit the moon. The colonization of space by life from Earth has a similar significance as the colonization of the land by life from the sea of many millions of years ago. Space colonization will be a big thing in the history of our spaceship Earth and in the history of human civilization."
Is this predominantly what this guy's running on?
Oh, yeah. He's running on the platform of space colonization.
He's not doing like space colonization and then legalizing acid.
No.
I really want to make sure that we have like a 2001 space base, and I also want acid to be legal.
I've never read any of his stances on the legalization of LSD, but I'm guessing he's a libertarian, so I'm guessing he'd have to be for it.
Yeah.
Small government. 2007, he ran for King County Council, received 7.9% of the vote. 2008, he ran for U.S. Representative, only 2.5% of the vote. Yeah.
Down year for him.
In an interview with KCTS9 from July 30th, 2009.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's running for King County Executive against Dow Constantine in 2009. The question is, what is your vision for overall transportation for the county, and specifically in regards to Metrobus, light rail, and ferries?
Spaceships.
The answer. Okay, the transportation system is often very expensive. I'm a single individual, so if I wanted in my personal life to have something like the transportation system of King County, I would go out and I would rent myself a really high class and expensive hooker. That's sort of what That's sort of what King County has done. So King County, the people of King County are provided a transportation system that is perhaps only paid for, 20% is paid for by the users. Mm-hmm. Just like a hooker, apparently.
You only pay for the 20% of the hooker.
Is that how that works?
What is the other 80% for her to leave?
Oh,
is that the same?
All right. But this is in a political interview when he's running for King County Executive, and the first thing he says in this interview was, well, it's like a prostitute.
All right, good space guy, moving on. We're going to talk about local farms. Mm-hmm. Local farms are like a hooker. You dress them up nice. You put them you feed them water, and they reap you a bountiful harvest.
Yeah. He received 1.2% of the vote, and lost to Dow Constantine. Yeah. In 2010, he ran for U.S. Senator. From his blog, quote, "Dear fellow sheeple, move upward with me, Goodspaceguy. My name is Goodspaceguy, and I am one of 15 candidates for the office of U.S. Senator from Washington State. This important primary election ends Tuesday, August 17th, 2010. Please vote and help unsabotage our economy. Who am I? I'm just some guy who has studied economics and who advocates unsabotaging our economy so that everyone who wants to work can have a choice of jobs. And I'm just some guy who has studied astronomy who advocates getting our orbital space colonies started. You have already paid the money, but we don't have the starter colonies. And I am also a lifelong student who is also advocating that we do more research in rejuvenation science so that you and I might stay young longer."
Oh my God, this guy's getting crazier. We also
crazy like a fox.
Will never die. I have found the fountain of youth.
Yeah, and it's space.
And it is space.
So yeah, this is in this is in 2009, or 2010 rather, he's running for senator, and he received 0.3% of the vote.
He was up against Dino Rossi, right?
For senator, I don't remember who else was running.
Like Dino Rossi and Maria Cantwell, I think. And, of course, Goodspaceguy.
Goodspaceguy,
the dark horse.
The dark, yeah.
Running on space platforms. Mm-hmm. His pro-hooker stats.
2011, King County Council. He ran for King County Council, received 4.7% of the votes. And in 2012, he ran for U.S. Representative from District 7. From his blog, quote, about 400...
Hello, sheeple! Good morning, sheeple. It is I, Goodspaceguy.
Close. You're very close. He wrote, about 400 million years ago, life came up from the sea and colonized the land of Earth. Now, the colonization of orbital space by life from Earth is of similar significance. You travel in a time of historic transformation. Humans moving up to the high frontier. I, Goodspaceguy, study economics with the goal of raising the living standard by increasing production and jobs. Let's improve the quality of life. Please vote for those small spending candidates who understand the science of economics, led by incentive.
He always says, I, Goodspaceguy, learner of economics, slayer of the corporate beast.
Pretty much.
It's like his Game of Thrones family words.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I, Goodspaceguy.
Learner of economics.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Yeah.
What's on his shield?
Probably...
Is it the moon?
Yeah, it's a moon with an astronaut taking a step onto it.
It's a wasted vote, is what it is.
Yeah, he received 0.8% of the vote.
God
in that
damn
election.
it, Goodspaceguy.
2013, he ran for King County Executive, and he received 4% of the vote.
You know what? You gotta admire his persistence.
He's very persistent, yeah. He runs every year.
Does he have a job?
He's run every year for the last 13 years. He says that his job is an investor. But I've not been able to find much.
He has no money on the books.
He has no on his campaign books.
Okay.
Because he's thrifty.
Because he's thrifty?
But he must have money on his own. Because he can afford to
shops
live.
at Value Village. And...
Yeah. He sleeps in a cardboard box. Which he calls his space station.
I need fuel for my spaceship.
In 2014, he ran for U.S. Representative, only received 1.2% of the votes.
Things aren't looking good for Goodspaceguy.
Someone claiming to be Goodspaceguy attends meetings of the Purian City Council and introduces himself saying, quote, hello, my name is Goodspaceguy. I am from Phoebe, one of Saturn's many moons.
This guy is awesome. I hope he has a cape. It is I, Goodspaceguy,
learner of economics.
Learner of economics. Journeyer through the stars. Is he that guy? You know that when
Star Hustler.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Keep on watching the stars.
No, it's not that guy. That guy is awesome. I love that guy.
Mars will be in view in the southwest.
And he's standing on a little planet, and the planet moves around as he points to... Oh, God, I love that guy.
He's sitting on the moon, and he's kicking his legs like a little boy.
I used to watch that guy all the time. And then I would go outside and try to see things, but there was too much light pollution, so I couldn't.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah.
Get a little glimpse into your past.
Yeah. I was all about that guy. That guy was great. But no, this isn't that guy. This is someone
Would that be funny if that was the guy that claimed to be Goodspaceguy?
The real Goodspaceguy says, quote, I never said that. I never said that. There are people who claim to be Goodspaceguy, and they're putting out things as if I produced it, which I didn't. And the person who said that, I don't know who said that, but I'm a Minnesota born from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And a mood of Saturn can't support life because it's so cold out there. You get that far away from the sun, and Earth life will just freeze.
It's simple economics.
The economics of heat retention. He claimed, quote, these other Goodspaceguys must have the goal of discrediting Goodspaceguy.
Does Goodspaceguy work with Phoenix Jones at all?
Oh, God. I don't know. I think maybe they're...
With my brains and your street savvy.
We can clean up this city.
Or Goodspaceguy is like the Lex Luthor to Phoenix Jones.
Yeah. In every interview I've seen with Goodspaceguy, he seems like just such a sweet old man.
Oh,
he seems so sweet and endearing. but
he's batshit
but
nuts.
kind of crazy, yeah.
Crazier than a shithouse rat.
Pretty crazy, I will say. But he seems very sweet and very genuine. He doesn't seem malicious at all. But yeah, he is clearly not all that.
But what we're doing by having him be a part of these elections is, would you say, taking advantage of an old man?
No, because he's out there doing it and going for it all on his own. Nobody's like coercing him into it. But it's an interesting thing with our electoral process because anybody can run if they're not, a convicted felon or whatever other, like, there's a couple of minor, restrictions, but anybody can run. And so if he has the means and the ability and the drive, then he can run. And I say more power to you, good space guy. You go for it.
You go, crazy old man.
Mm-hmm.
From Phobos or wherever you are.
Good Space Guy ran for Port of Seattle Commission in 2015, and in the primary received 23,216 votes, about 9% of the total votes cast. This put him in second place in a 3-candidate race, and got him on the ballot in November running against Courtney Gregoire.
The ex-governor's daughter.
Yeah, daughter of Christine Gregoire, who he ran for before, a few years earlier.
I lost to the mother.
Yeah.
I will take the daughter.
He said, quote, "It is interesting what a small world we live in. Spaceship Earth is small."
Is that what he said? Like, good space guy. We were talking about the port. And, it's such a beautiful blue gem that we float on in space.
Mm-hmm. Good Space Guy. Well, this is the first time actually that he made it past a primary since 2003. So he's at the general election.
Yeah, he got a decent amount of press this time around.
He did, yeah. He really did.
What if you were the third candidate?
You'd be like, I lost a Good Space Guy?
It's okay, honey. I lost. People lose to weirdos all the time.
Yeah, it's alright. Maybe you should change your name to Poster Thief or something. I don't know. I'm looking around the room and
Bicycle Thief.
Yeah, Bicycle Thief. Because people love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Space Guy in this election expanded on his platform of space colonization and spread to abolishing the minimum wage. From his statement in the voters' pamphlet, quote, "The minimum wage law produces unemployed people and homeless people and beggars who pester you and even criminals. We should abolish the job-destroying, life-destroying minimum wage and return to supply and demand to set wages and prices. The effect of the minimum wage is to tell poor, unemployed people that they may not work. Abolish this unjust law which forbids work for problem people. Defend the right of free problem people to sell their labor at their low market rate. With more people working, problems decrease and the living standard rises. As we work for each other in our exchange economy, prices are largely determined by wages. By abolishing the minimum wage, we can get increased employment and increased production, which will raise the living standard and will lower prices."
See, there's this thing called money.
Yes, go on.
And money could be used for goods and services.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to give any of my employees money.
Okay.
I'm a studier of economics.
Yes. Hi, Good Space Guy, learner of economics. Walker of moon planes.
Slayer of the Martian dust monster.
Mm-hmm.
The shambling mound known as Gorgox.
Oh, Gorgox. Good thing he didn't make it past the primary. Good Space Guy's argument is that the reason there is homelessness is because the unemployable and severely mentally ill have value in the job market, but their value is below the current minimum wage. So that if they were allowed to work jobs at their market value, they would not be homeless.
So we need to value terrible alcoholism.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
If your value to the market is $2 an hour, somebody should be able to hire you for $2 an hour. And then you wouldn't be homeless anymore.
That seems fair.
Yeah, because you'd be making $80 a week working full time. So, makes sense.
Some people just aren't worth money.
Yeah.
And we should be able to trade them and sell them in markets.
So, this stance earned Good Space Guy an endorsement from the 34th District GOP.
What is going on with the Republican Party?
I don't know.
Seems like They flip a coin and they always make the wrong decision.
Well, the 34th District GOP covers West Seattle, White Center, Vashon, Burien, and Maury Island. When reached for comment about their endorsement of such a strange candidate, Chuck Rangel, chairman of the 34th District Republicans, responded, quote, "There were some good economic and conservative-type responses in this letter, so we thought, that's pretty good." He went on to say in response to Goodspaceguys' past record, quote, "As history, one of our founders, leaders of the Republican Party, Abraham Lincoln, had similar luck in running many, many, many races and not winning."
So, he just compared Goodspaceguy
to Abraham Lincoln.
to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened.
You know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck Port Commissioner. Fuck Senator. I think we found our new presidential candidate.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off. And all of this stuff, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he's talking about with space colonization, I'm totally for a space program, totally for expanding NASA, but he's running for port commissioner. He's running for port commissioner under the grounds of...
Good space guy, you're running for county coroner. We shouldn't be talking about space.
Oh, I'm glad that's not
We
an
should
elected
be blasting our corpses into space.
It's just good economics.
It's good economics.
Upon running for port commissioner in 2015, he was asked in an interview with Crosscut Public Media, quote, when Commissioner Goodspaceguy starts at the Port of Seattle, do your colleagues need to worry about your commitment to the institution? The answer, quote, I don't think so, because space involves travel, and the Port of Seattle involves travel. Now, I don't think I'm going to advocate for any launches from the Port of Seattle into space because it's rather noisy. Unless people said they would really like the noise, but I'm guessing people would say they don't want the noise.
You hear that, 12s? I can't hear you. See, that's the secret to our success. Spaceships.
Yeah. Yes. The follow-up question, you have the keys to our space program. What's your first move to get us to the stars? Answer, quote, okay, the stars are very far away. We're not getting to the stars. This generation of people, it's local, our solar system, near the Earth. So we want to begin our colony right in orbit around Earth. So that's where I want to get us. I want to use a capitalistic system.
Okay.
And I want to take away the torture that the astronauts have to currently go through. For example, right now, they have two
Hitting them with a sock full of nickels.
and then they wake up on Shanghai on a space station.
You want to go to space? You gotta get beat.
I want to take away the torture the astronauts have to currently go through. For example, right now, they have two astronauts at the International Space Station. They're supposed to spend more than a year? Well, human beings are sexual creatures, and for two astronauts to be up in the International Space Station without female companions is a horrible way to torture them. So the colonies should be co-ed colonies.
I'm talking co-ed humans, co-ed ants, co-ed space newts, or whatever they do.
Co-ed space newts.
Yeah, they have, like, animals up in space.
In the election for port commissioner, he received 55,076 votes.
Oh, my God.
13 points.
Because he was talking about boning in space?
His whole platform.
What? Good space guy knows that sex is an interplanetary art.
Check that box. Yeah, so
he's pro-fucking in space.
He's pro-fucking in space. And he got the endorsement of the 34th District GOP.
See?
So,
that's all you need.
13.79% of the votes, and he lost to Courtney Gregoire.
Good.
Lost to another Gregoire. Goodspaceguy has run for office 16 times and never won. He has run in every one of the last 13 consecutive elections. He has run as a Libertarian, a Republican, a Democrat, a member of the Employment Wealth Party, and a member of the Work and Wealth Party. If you've never heard of those last two before, it's because they don't exist. Candidates in Washington state are allowed to align themselves on the ballot with any party they want, regardless of whether that party is real or not.
Why didn't he create a space party?
I don't know. He changed his name to Goodspaceguy.
Does he have, like, a PR person or what do you call it, an election manager?
I doubt it. Well,
get back on your message.
His website is www.colonizespace.blogspot.com. So he didn't
Metacrawl.
he didn't even pay for a URL. He just got the free Blogspot URL. So he's thrifty. He's a thrifty guy, yeah. When asked why he has never won an election, his response was, quote,
Oh.
"It suggests that when I try to explain economics, people don't believe me." So that's the problem.
They don't believe me because I'm wearing a wizard's hat with number signs on it.
According to his own account in campaign literature, he works as an investor. And as for Goodspaceguys' lengthy list of degrees, these are self-reported. And according to the King County Voters pamphlet, are candidate statements fact-checked before they are published? No. King County Elections is not responsible for the content or accuracy of the statements, and we print them exactly as they are received, including any potential errors.
Well, that is not worrisome at all.
No, not at all. Because he says he has
transparency.
a BA from the University of Maryland, BA from Stockholm, a Master's in Science from Minnesota, and
I
a
got
Juris
a
doctorate from the
40-inch
University of
dick. I got 4 ATVs. I got rocket launchers. I got all the Nerf guns ever.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
12 super soakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got huge balls.
I can ride my bike real fast.
Want to see? Want to see me ride my bike? Good Space Guy, this is a debate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I brought my bike.
So I went through all of his blog posts
Uh-huh.
in researching this, and it's just endless
Hit me
rambling stuff about... I mean, a lot of these are just... The best quotes are in here, but it's just this endless rambling stuff about space exploration and colonizing space and setting up orbits around the Earth. And it's a fascinating... He's a fascinating character.
Does he ever quote, like, Star Trek?
He's a huge fan of science fiction. In the interview with Crosscut, he was asked who his heroes were, and I think he said it was Isaac Asimov, Jesus, and the Libertarians.
So who would he have dinner with for?
Yeah.
Isaac Asimov, Jesus, and LaRouche.
I don't know about LaRouche. I think even Good Space Guy might draw the line at LaRouche.
I'd have dinner with LaRouche, L. Ron Hubbard, and...
David Koresh?
No, it was Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, yeah.
And we'd have chicken nuggets. Anyway.
So I'm going to guess Good Space Guy is going to run again and again and again. I'm guessing that we are not through with Good Space Guy even close yet.
And it seems like there's good space men out there.
Well, those are people claiming to be. Those Good Space Guys are not the real Good Space Guy.
Someone needs to get down to the bottom of that. It is I, Good Space Guy.
And I tried. The reason he claimed he changed his name to Good Space Guy was because there's a million Michael Nelsons out there, and I went and tried to find records of Michael Nelsons receiving these degrees, and Michael Nelsons have received degrees from every school every year. It's just insane the amount of Michael Nelsons there are out there. So maybe it was a smart decision, because if he wasn't Good Space Guy, would we be talking about him? Probably not. So
Hell no.
Good Space Guy.
What brought him to the decision of being Good Space Guy?
Well, he wanted to have a name that advocates the space program.
Okay.
And he didn't. Michael Nelson.
His alignment.
Yeah.
I want people to know that I'm a male.
He's neutral good. And he wanted to stand out. And so it was really it was for political reasons, because he wanted to stand out. There's a million Michael Nelsons out there. But there's only one Good Space Guy.
Isn't there another guy, Mike the Mover?
Yeah.
He's a dude from Everett,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Mike the Mover, I believe, I haven't done much research into him, but I think that his thing is just about promoting his moving business, and he uses his political campaigns as a platform. I'm not positive about that, but that's what I believe his kind of MO is.
His pro-box platform.
Exactly.
I'm for lifting with the knees.
I'm for pallets. I'm for dollies.
I am against, repeat, against dropping your valuables.
Mm-hmm. I am for being bonded and licensed by the state.
I was down on Main Street talking to Joe Sixpack about moving.
Joe Sixpack is also running as a Democrat in the 8th district.
The famous Joe Sixpack.
Joe Sixpack, yeah.
He's running for
No, he's not. He's
okay.
Not. That was a joke. Very funny
It was
joke.
a good humor joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Goodspaceguy. That's his platform, and I'm sure he'll run again, and I'm sure he will continue running.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What Hogwarts house do you think Goodspaceguy would be in?
Dude, you know he's
Oh,
Ravenclaw.
that's true. It was dumb of me to even ask, right?
Because he's book smart. He's got so many degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And what else is Ravenclaw's good at?
I don't know.
Leadership?
Maybe? Yeah.
See, well, he's got the good nature to be a Hufflepuff. Right?
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to the Seattle Files. I'll be back next week with a new guest and a new topic, a new episode. Like us on Facebook, subscribe, and rate us in iTunes. There are new episodes out every Tuesday. If you have a topic that you'd like to hear an episode about, shoot me an email at theseattlefiles@gmail.com. Thanks again for being here, Mike.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Thanks, and I'll be back next week with a new topic and a new episode.
Yay, yay.
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 A new episode.